Claire, what's up? This is Anne. It's been a little while, hasn't it? You have a little time? Hey, Anne. Yeah, it's been too long. What's up? Something the matter? Something the matter? You can say that again. It was all your fault, Claire. I'm in a bind here because of you. In a bind? What do you mean? I don't remember doing anything wrong. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's high school reunion party we had the other day. Huh? You got me. I don't know what this is about. High school reunion party? When did that take place? Come on, Claire, don't act so innocent. You said you were going to attend, and at the last minute you didn't show. What were you thinking? Everyone was looking forward to it and figured it was a good time, so we arranged it at a great hotel downtown. But you had to go cancel it at the last minute. I'm gonna need you to pay the cancellation fee. Hold on a second, Anne. You keep saying I canceled at the last minute, but I really don't know what this is all about. Stop right there. I don't want to hear your lame excuses. Just stop lying, would you? I'm not lying. This is the first I'm hearing about a high school reunion. And I don't recall getting an invitation or saying that I was going to attend. I cannot believe you, Claire. When did you turn out to be like this? I'm really blown away by your attitude. What can I say? I have no idea what you're talking about. I saw your name on the attendance list. My name was on the list? Like I said, I don't even remember getting an invitation. I don't recall contacting you on my private line. I created a special group online and I invited you onto it. Special group? I don't remember ever getting an invite to such a group. Yeah, well, it's gone now. I deleted that group. The reunion party is over. No need to keep it up. So there is no evidence that I said I would attend then. Is that right? What do you mean evidence? If you're gonna say that, there's no evidence you said you wouldn't attend. Yeah, but... See, like I said, no evidence of that either. Well, that's case, so I need you to pay up. The place we reserved wasn't exactly cheap. I figured you were coming, so I paid on your behalf. You paid for my fee? How much is this cancellation fee anyways? $500. Huh? $500? Holy crap! Isn't that a bit high for a class reunion? It's not expensive at all. It was a very nice hotel. It's the usual going price. You weren't there, so how could you know that? The food was outstanding. They even served champagne. Well, you may think it's not much, but for a class reunion, that sounds outrageous. Well, we're no longer in high school and all working good jobs. $500 is nothing. We all said we should splurge on such occasions. But if you had to come on the day, it would have been half, $250. You've been going on and on about this, but I really can't get my head around it. Usually when you cancel something like this on the day of the event, you usually pay a percentage. Seems kind of strange to pay the full amount. Huh? You never heard of this before? Oh yeah, you really don't get around these days. Recently, if you cancel on the day of the event, they sometimes charge you 2 or 3 times the original amount. No way that's possible. Yes way, think about it. I mean, you're causing a lot of trouble for the place that's arranging the event. You know, with the food and drinks, paying the band members and so on. There was a band? I have never heard such a thing before. I go to these things all the time. I should know. You've been out of the loop for too long. Come on, just shut up and pay up. $500, and don't tell me you can't pay such a pittance. If you can't pay it, I guess you're just gonna have to work. You can just get a part-time job and have it in a few days. What's the problem? If I really canceled at the last minute or just failed to show up, I guess I would pay, but I had no idea you guys were having a class reunion. Like I said, I don't want to hear your lame excuses. I'll do you a favor since you're a friend. I'll give you 2 weeks to come up with the money. You can do that, right? If you don't pay, I could bring charges against you. All right, Claire, it's been 2 weeks. What's going on? I haven't heard a peep out of you. You're being a little irresponsible, don't you think? I keep telling you, I don't remember getting any kind of invitation to a class reunion. And I never sent you anything about attending. How long are you going to keep this up? Just admit you made a mistake and pay the consequences for God's sake. I'm going to press charges if you don't. Hey, Anne, can I ask you something? Why are you so desperate? Seems kind of strange, you acting like this. To be honest, it sounds like the only option you have left is for me to pay up. So, who's gonna pay this cancellation fee? Yeah, that's right, I have to pay it. I paid in your behalf, so it's me that loses out. Who told you I was going to attend this reunion? What do you mean, who? You said you were going to attend. Are you going to continue this charade and not pay? I want you to take responsibility. That's it. I don't even know this class reunion even existed, and I wasn't even part of this class reunion line group, which has already been deleted. So in this situation, how the hell could I have said I attended? How can I take responsibility for something I don't even remember being responsible for? I don't care. I am sick of your lame excuses. Anyways, you failed to show up at an event that you said you would attend, and as a result, I had to pay your cancellation fee. How hard is that to understand? Like I said, if you refuse to pay, I really will press charges. Now, if that happens, who's gonna be in big trouble? Not me, that's for sure. You better pay up if you think it's good for you. One more time, pay the cancellation fee for the class reunion. For a class reunion that never was? Huh? What did you just say? What are you blabbering about again? Well, if you have to know, I found out a thing or two the last 2 weeks. That class reunion you're talking about is all fake. There was no class reunion, right? Come on, tell me the truth. There was no class reunion, right? Hey, Claire, I wouldn't push it if I were you. Okay then, let me ask you a few questions. Who exactly was at this class reunion? Huh? Yeah, a whole bunch of people. Who exactly? Like I said, a bunch. Everybody we know was there. All our classmates from senior class. Tell me some of their names. I can't tell you their names, that is confidential. What if someone hacks this conversation? I'm one of the classmates. What privacy is there when I know everyone? Like I said, everyone was there. Every last one of our senior classmates was there. You're the only one that was not there. Are you serious? Was I the only one that didn't attend? That's right. You were always the quiet type in school. When the day of the reunion came up, you probably couldn't get up the nerve to attend and just didn't show up. The quiet type, huh? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I was really not into big crowds or parties back then. Well, that's all in the past, but when I think more about what you're saying, things seems really weird. What's so weird? I talked to everyone, and they all say they never heard of such a class reunion. What do you mean, everyone? Everyone. You said everyone from our senior class, right? Everyone, including the guys on the basketball team? Huh? What is this? This is the class reunion. We're currently enjoying ourselves. Huh? Is that now? Is the party real time? Are you guys having a class reunion now? That's right. You're kidding, right? Oh, I know. You're faking all this so you can get out of paying the cancellation fee. Well, you're not gonna fool me. Now, why would I have to set up this whole charade to pay you for a fake class reunion? Please, give me a break. Okay, then I'll call and we can talk directly. Come on, answer. Why won't you answer the phone? I can't right now. I'm currently at a location where I can't talk on the phone. Looks like you overdid it this time. After I got that call from you demanding that I pay that cancellation fee, I didn't know what to do. So I asked everyone if they had heard of a $250 class reunion. Well, I got a reply on group line from one of our classmates. What's this group line? During last year's class reunion, we decided to make a group chat line so we could keep in touch for future get-togethers. Well, we happened to be chatting on the group page, and it seems I was not the only one that you were demanding this cancellation fee for the non-existent class reunion. Then one thing led to another, and all the people that were demanded a cancellation fee decided to get together of a real class reunion. What the hell are you talking about? I've never heard of such a group. Oh yeah, I forgot. You failed to show up at last year's reunion. I was busy last year. I couldn't make it is all. I thought you were a recluse. What the hell are you doing going to a class reunion anyways? You still think I'm a recluse? Anyways, what's it to you if I go to a class reunion? Oh, I guess you figured I wouldn't show up anyway, so you targeted me. I'm such a recluse and homebody, you figured you could trick me into this charade. Or is it a con game? Come to think of it, everyone you conned were all solitary types in high school. You probably thought you could bamboozle them too, am I right? I bet you didn't think we all kept in contact. You got it all wrong. This isn't what you think. Then explain it to me. So, you set up this fake reunion party and tried to swindle money from us. Well, I suppose I didn't fall for it, but I hear there were some that paid. Creating a non-existent class reunion and demanding money for it, that sounds like a scam to me. Blackmail. Definitely a crime. Scam? That was not my intention. Oh yeah, there is something else. What is it? You told me when you first called, you demanded that I pay $500, remember that? You also said you would press charges. That's blackmail. Or is it called intimidation? Anyways, it's a crime. You're clearly stating the amount too. You know what? I think I was mistaken. My bad. I'm sorry about... what a klutz, huh? Anyway, have fun at the class reunion. See ya! We're 7 of us here at the class reunion. All 7 of us were blackmailed by you. So, this is all a mistake? No matter how you spin it, this was a plan to swindle us out of money. Like I said, it was all a mistake. I read the party list wrong is all. Well, it's no use bickering about it here. So we're gonna go consult with people who know a little bit more about these things. If it's all just a mistake, then you have nothing to worry about. Like I said, a mistake! If my husband finds out, I'll be crucified. He'll divorce me and I can't have that. How am I supposed to live? Please, can we just keep this quiet? I beg you, please. I don't know about your husband or what he'll do, but talk it over with him. I don't plan to press charges. Huh? You're not gonna press charges? Yeah, me. I didn't pay you, so I have no intention of pressing charges. But the people who did, looks like they collected enough evidence and they plan to press charges. Huh? Hold on, I'll pay all the money back, so please, it was all just a simple mistake. How much longer are you going to keep up this charade? This is something you brought to yourself. I recommend you take responsibility for what you did. Face up to your responsibilities. Anne was always into brands. She was obsessed with brand bags, clothes, jewelry. Even after she got married and had 2 kids, the obsession with brands continued. It just got worse as the years went by. Unbeknownst to her husband, she went into debt to satisfy her obsession. She was so much into debt and no way of paying it off is when she came up with this scam. She used this scam on several of her former classmates, making up a fake class reunion and demanding money for canceling attendance. Both people ended up paying, as well as people like myself who didn't pay, were all questioned and the evidence presented to the court. With this, all of Anne's past scams came to light. Her parents, her relatives, and friends all learned of her criminal behavior. Obviously, Anne's husband and her relatives were furious. She was made to reimburse all the money she swindled from her former classmates. Her husband visited each and every one of the victims in this affair and apologized profusely of his wife's misdeeds. Subsequently, her husband divorced her and took custody of their 2 children. I hear she's working day and night to reimburse her family for the money they loaned her to pay back her victims. All her precious brand bags, clothes, and jewelry were sold off to pay compensation to the people she victimized. I occasionally get a line message from Anne pleading for forgiveness, but I have ignored all her attempts. I mean, what she did was all self-inflicted, right? But I just hope she repents for the people she victimized and finally comes to her senses. Hey, Melissa. My son is going to be able to come home around New Year's, isn't he? I know that he's always busy with business trips, but he can at least come home for the Christmas holidays and spend time with his family, right? Can you tell him to make sure he pays us a visit this time?
Hi, Jane. Well, actually, my husband's work is going to just get busier from now. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it for Christmas or New Year's. I'm sorry. But from next year, he says that the international business trips will be over.
Oh, that's just an excuse, isn't it? I bet he just doesn't want to come back at all. I bet he's fallen out of love with you. It's not like you're anywhere near as beautiful as his younger brother's wife, after all. And you're not very good at cooking either. Why would he even want to come back home to that?
What are you saying?
Oh, that must be it. Otherwise, I'm sure he would find a way to make it back to see his family. Oh, yes. By the way, Melissa, make sure you leave next Sunday open in your schedule.
Next Sunday? Why is that? Is there something happening on that day?
The whole family is going out for dinner. If you're free, make sure to join us. I'm sure it must be lonely, always eating at home by yourself while your husband is away. We booked a table at a really nice French restaurant. Everyone's really looking forward to it.
Oh, wow. Is it really okay for me to join too?
Of course. Why are you acting so surprised?
How do I put this? It's just that this is the first time you invited me to a family gathering or event without my husband being there.
Oh, don't say things like that. You make me sound bad. That comes across as though I've purposefully pushed you away or something. By the way, you were raised by a single mother, right?
Yeah, I was. But what about it?
I know that people from poor families never get a chance to eat good food. I guess that's why they never learn to cook very well either. When my son finally comes home from abroad, it would be such a shame if he has to come back to bad cooking from his wife. So I thought that I should treat you to some good food every now and then. That way you can get used to what real food should taste like, and then maybe your own cooking will improve. Especially at this restaurant. Each course costs almost $200 per person. It's gonna be delicious. Isn't that great?
Thanks for thinking of me. But my husband has never said that the food I make tastes bad or anything like that.
Well, of course he wouldn't say it to your face. You're really thick, aren't you?
Is that really so?
Anyway, keep your next Sunday free and make sure you're not late. The reservation is for 1 p.m. I'll send you the address later on.
I got it. Thanks for inviting me. I'm looking forward to it. Hi, Jane. I'm almost at the restaurant. I'll be there shortly.
What? What do you mean you're coming? Everyone has already started eating. We all met up already.
What? Everyone's already started? But wasn't the reservation for 1 p.m.? There's still 20 minutes until then. And everyone has already arrived? Why did they come so early?
Of course they have. This is a super fancy French restaurant. It's custom to arrive about an hour beforehand.
1 hour before the reservation time? I see. In any case, I'll hurry over. I won't be long.
Well, there's no need for that anymore. It's not like there's a seat here for you anyway.
What do you mean? Sorry, but I don't really understand what's going on here. What are you saying?
The restaurant that we're at is a very expensive, fancy French restaurant. It's not a place for people like you. Even if some poor trash like you ate food like this, You wouldn't even be able to appreciate its quality, now would you? It would just be a waste of money if I treated you to this.
Okay. Then why did you invite me in the first place?
I invited you? I was just talking about how the family was going to go out to eat. You just made a bad assumption thinking that I was inviting you too.
No, you definitely invited me. You literally told me to come with you if I was free.
Oh, maybe I said something like that, but I didn't say anything about reserving a seat for you, did I?
What's the difference there?
You really don't get it. Anyway, there's nothing here for you. I haven't reserved you a seat or anything, so just go home. It's time for me to enjoy this seafood with the family. Just go home and eat some frozen meal or something by yourself. Did you get home already?
Sure.
Oh, you must be tired. You came all the way to the restaurant. That must have taken you like half an hour each way. Well, it's your fault for making the wrong assumption.
I guess it is.
And so?
What do you mean?
What are you going to do right now?
I was just about to eat.
Oh, yeah? So, what did you end up with? I bet some gross, ready-to-eat meal? Well, tell me.
Why do I need to tell you what I'm eating?
Oh, because I'm interested. You thought you were going to be eating some high-quality cuisine just to end up having to go back home. So, I wanted to know what you had to settle for.
Well, in that case, it might be best I didn't tell you.
Oh, is it really that bad? Oh, come on, tell me.
Well, in that case, I'm eating some baked brie, oysters, and some king crab too.
You can't be serious. You're really eating king crab and oysters? Why are you lying about this? It's not even a funny joke.
I'm not lying. Do you want me to send a photo?
What? Where on earth are you eating all of that?
Oh, would you like to know? It's at a restaurant that my uncle owns.
Your uncle owns a restaurant?
I happened to run into my uncle when I was about to go home. I told him what happened, so he told me to come by his restaurant. It was pretty lucky as well, since some customers had canceled their reservations last minute. So he decided he would give me the course they booked instead. The timing actually worked out really, really well for me. Not only that, but his restaurant even has a Michelin star. Have you heard of Ventoux?
Ventro? Are you really talking about that Ventro? It's basically impossible to get a reservation there.
Yeah, that's the one. My uncle is the owner, but also works there as a chef.
What? You have a relative that owns such a famous restaurant? I never heard anything about that. Wait, something doesn't add up. I bet this is just some random, made-up story. Oh, everyone here is laughing. There's no way that story is true. Were you so embarrassed by what you ended up having to eat that you just made up this lie?
I have actually mentioned this before, but when I was telling the story at that time, you cut me off saying that it probably wasn't worth listening to. So, because of that, I wasn't able to fully tell the story. If you still don't believe me, I can send you a photo together with my uncle. There's a photo of him on the restaurant's website, so you can compare that one with the one I sent you. Also, his last name is the same as my maiden name. Before I married your son, you can even have someone look into it if you're that doubtful.
That just has to be some coincidence. There's no way this is true.
My uncle's food really is the best though. He just brought out some escargot. There's something you said you really liked, right? How's the food over at where you're eating?
Why are you even asking that? Obviously the food here is amazing. I told you it's almost $200 per person. We even ordered the most expensive course they had on offer.
That's nice to hear. The food here is amazing too. The ingredients are of the highest quality, and I'm lucky enough to get the full course. The array of cheeses that just got brought out. And the organic foie gras also looks perfect.
Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Regular foie gras is already incredibly expensive, and you're telling me this one is organic? Just how much does something like that cost?
I don't know exactly how much each dish costs on its own, but my uncle said that the people who canceled had ordered a $500 per person course.
$500 per person? That much?
I know that price doesn't always equal quality, but when you get to this price range, you can really taste the difference in the ingredients. I can't believe how lucky I am to be able to eat something like this good for free. It looks like I'll be able to try lots of other delicacies apart from the foie gras too. I see some lobster, trout. Oh, and I even got some dry aged duck. It all tastes so good.
What a waste to give such delicacies to some Poor trash like you. Oh, it's not like you can even appreciate the flavors. What a waste of ingredients. Hey, are you ignoring me?
Oh, sorry. I just finished up my meal. And don't worry about me. I've been used to this kind of food for a long time.
Oh, what are you saying now? How could you be used to eating food of that quality?
Well, as you said before, I was raised by a single mother. She was always really busy with work. So she left me with my uncle a lot of the time. He looked after me while she was working. And since my uncle always dreamed of being a chef and having his own restaurant, he spent a lot of time going to different parts of the country and eating various cuisines. It was kind of like research for him. I was lucky enough to go with him on occasion. We'd always eat really delicious food together. So that's essentially how I got used to it. Honestly, it has been quite a while since I've eaten something of this level. I'm so thankful for my uncle.
Give me a break. Everyone looked at the photos you sent and are starting to say that your food looks better than what we got. You're ruining our meal. I went to so much trouble to get a reservation at this restaurant too.
Then why did you show everyone the photos? I only sent them because you didn't believe me in the first place.
Oh, I got it. Let's do it like this. It's not really fair that you get to be the only one to dine in such luxury, right?
Not fair? What do you mean?
So, how about this, Melissa? Why don't you take all of us to Ventro to eat together? You can ask your uncle for a special reservation. It would be almost impossible to get a table otherwise. Of course, it'll be for free too, right? You can do that for us, can't you?
Huh? You're joking, right?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we are family after all, so why not have a lovely meal together?
I don't think I've ever spoken to someone as shameless as you before. I'm being completely serious here. It's gone beyond shock. I'm genuinely scared by how you act. How did you even manage to get that kind of idea into your head? You literally spend all day showing me that you don't consider me part of the family. The setup with the reservation? You did all of that just to make a fool out of me. And now you want to use me to get a reservation at my uncle's restaurant? Why did you do that today? Why invite me at all if you had no real intention of getting lunch together? It's a rhetorical question. You don't need to answer. I already know why. You just wanted to use me for a bit of fun. Say something that would get my hopes up before trampling them immediately, and then laugh at me at my reaction when I got upset. For you, it was nothing more than killing some time. Isn't that right?
And so what? Do you want me to apologize or something? Here you go. My bad. There's your apology. Just water under the bridge now, right? How about it?
Water under the bridge? You can't be serious. That's not something for you to decide. It's up to me.
Are you really making such a big deal of this? Okay, so what do you want for me to do then?
You really are unbelievable. You made fun of me all day, called me poor trash, and constantly said how good food is a waste on someone like me. But really, you're the one who is more, shall we say, commonplace? Looking at you as a person, there's not even a shred of dignity or grace about you.
Oh, how dare you! Who do you think you are talking to your mother-in-law like that?
I could ask you the same thing. Who on earth do you think you are to act the way you do? Oh, my uncle wanted to pass along a message to you. He says that people like you don't belong in his restaurant. So, please refrain from trying to come. After that, my mother-in-law blew up the phone with dozens of calls, but I let my uncle answer it once, and he let her have it. She didn't call back after that. All of the family members who went to dinner with my mother-in-law said that the food at my uncle's restaurant looked better than what they were eating. Apparently, that led to a big fight between them and my mother-in-law. They started yelling at each other in the restaurant, and now they're banned from coming back. I had to put up with a lot from my mother-in-law before now. It's not like this is the first. But because I didn't want to worry my husband, who is always working so hard overseas, I decided not to tell him or make a big deal out of it. This time, though, was so ridiculous and apparent that I decided to tell him everything. My husband was furious and called his mom to yell at her. He scolded her for over 3 hours and made her promise that she would leave me alone from now on. After he came back from his trip, we moved houses and put a bit of distance between us and my mother-in-law. Sometimes we go together to my uncle's restaurant as a couple and are able to enjoy the fantastic food with a family discount. Of course, it was delicious when I went there on my own. And nothing beats a meal that you can eat with those you love. Sitting there eating that delicious food with my husband, I was so incredibly happy. My uncle also seemed really happy that he played some part in my happiness. Apparently, my mother-in-law still wants to get back at me somehow by proving she knows more about fancy food than me. So she started going to all of these different expensive restaurants, but that made her expenses go through the roof, and the family's everyday standard of living dropped. My mother-in-law's spending caused a lot of tension between her and everyone else, and they even refused to eat with her anymore. It's almost as though the entire family is one step away from complete disarray. Who could have thought that just one family lunch could give rise to such a tragedy?